Welcome to the fifth lecture on vibration of a stretched string. In this video, I am going to discuss about standing wave in a string, and this is how a standing wave will look like. So, first questions comes in our mind that what is a standing wave? And probably you have heard of stationary wave. So, standing wave and stationary wave both are same because standing wave also called stationary wave, so don't get confused with this name. Okay, now as name suggested, standing wave means standing, so wave that does not appear to propagate. So how it will look like? It will look like that it is oscillating in time, but peak amplitude profile does not move in space. So that kind of wave is called a standing wave. And also you can note few points like peak amplitude at any point in space is constant with time. Also, if you take any 2 point on the oscillation, then you will find they are in constant phase. That is, the phase difference between 2 points are always constant. So the oscillation at different point throughout the wave are in phase. So this is how a standing wave will look like. So you can clearly see from here that it is not propagating, so these points are fixed in space. Also, this is the peak profile, so which is oscillating but not moving in space. And you just take any random point, suppose we are taking this, so the amplitude is peak amplitude is always constant, it's not changing. Also, just take any 2 point in this oscillation and you will see those 2 points are in phase. So this is how a standing wave will look like. Now let's try to find out the existence of standing wave in a string. Transverse wave in a string satisfy this wave equation. This wave equation I have already derived in lecture 1. You can find the link of that video in the description, so you can watch that video if you want. And if you solve this equation for a stretched string, that is a string fixed between two ends. If you solve this equation, then you will find the general solution will look like this. Okay, and this I have also derived in lecture 2, so that video you can also find. Now suppose you are doing plucking or striking or whatever, then the wave will generate in that string and that wave will look like this. And here the value of kn is n pi over l, where l is the length of a string, n is an integer, omega is the frequency, c is the velocity of transverse wave in that string, which is given by root over t over m, t is the tension, m is the mass per unit length. This is the general solution. But in order to investigate the standing wave, we need to rewrite it. Okay. So what we will do, we will just transfer this constant into another constant. So we will transfer this constant an and bn into cn and phi n by using this kind of relation. So just substitute this and you will get this. So this is also a general solution. Here cn and phi n is given by this relation. Now it is very easy to visualize a standing wave from this. So basically, when you are creating a wave in a string, so that time you are generating infinite number of modes, and superposition of all modes are giving you the actual wave. So let's call it nth mode. Okay, so this is nth mode, and if you sum over all over n mode, then you will get the actual wave. Now look this nth mode very carefully. Here we have a spatial sinusoidal profile over which we have a sinusoidal oscillation. That means we have a sinusoidal profile which is oscillating and not moving, and that's what actually the standing wave is. So any mode of a string is a standing wave. Now the question can come in your mind that when it is oscillating, so whether it's an oscillation or wave, because what we know is wave is the propagation of a disturbance, and here what we are seeing that it's just oscillating. Then how we can explain this? So to explain this, let's have a more insight in this relation. So this is how the yn look like. Now we can transfer this yn, okay, into this relation, because this is like a sin a cos b type of identity. We can write as a difference of two sine terms. Okay, now if you look this term, this look like a familiar wave type of term, and let's see. Yeah, it is a wave, and this is the wave moving toward left. And look this term is a wave moving toward right. So now basically any mode of a string is superposition of these two counter propagating wave, and when you superimpose these two counter propagating wave, you will see the standing wave. So this is one also a condition to get the standing wave. You must have two counter propagating wave oscillating with same frequency. Okay, and how we can get this kind of two counter propagating wave in a string? So that's come from the reflection of a wave. Now for example, suppose you are just take one string and tied the string at one end, and then you just shake from the other end, then you will generate a wave, and when it will move forward, it will touch the boundary and it will reflect back. And if you suppose that all energy is transferred reflected, then it will have the same frequency. So that's how in a string we have a two counter propagating wave, and these two counter propagating waves superimposed to form this kind of standing wave. So now we understand now that in a string when we generate a wave, it will generate infinite number of standing wave. Okay, and superposition of all those waves will give the actual solution. Now the amplitude of standing wave is given by Cn sin knx. So let's try to find out some quantity from here. First quantity is NT0, the position of maximum displacement. And position of maximum displacement we can obtain by maxima condition of this sine function. So it will be maximum when knx will be odd multiple of pi by 2. That means this, where p can be 0 to n minus 1. So we can write x equals to L by 2n. Suppose we are in the mode 1, that is n equals to 1, then NT node will be at L by 2. And if you are in second mode, like n equals to 2, then the NT node will be at the point L by 4 and 3L by 4. Similarly, we can go on. And second thing is position of nodes, that is 0 displacement, and that we can find out by the minima condition of this sign, which will be knx equals to integer multiple of pi. S can be 0 to n. So we can find the position x equals to 0, L by n, 2L by n, and so on. Now we can note down this x equals to 0 and x equals to L is actually the boundary condition, that is displacement is 0 at x equals to 0 and x equals to L. That's the boundary condition for the stretch string. So s equals to 0 and s equals to n is basically giving us the boundary condition. Now have a look here. This is how n equals to 1 look like. So this is the fundamental mode of a vibrating string. This is the fundamental mode. And can you guess why the sounds are generated when you plug the string? Suppose you plugged a string and it only generated the fundamental mode n equals to 1. So when a string goes up, it will compress the air above the string. It will go down, it will rarefy. Again, when it will go up, it will compress. So the compression and rarefaction of air around the string will happen, which generate a sound wave. And the frequency of that sound will be determined by the frequency of this string. So that's how a string generates a sound. And suppose it oscillating in n equals to 2, then the n equals to 2 mode will look like this, which is called second harmonic. N equals to 3 will look like this, which is called third harmonic. N equals to 4 will look like this, it's called the fourth harmonic. But in general, whenever you create a wave, is particularly not generating any one of these. In general, it will be always combination of infinite number of this kind of standing wave. So simultaneously you can hear different kind of tones, which is called tone and overtone. Suppose you are hearing fundamental modes at same time third harmonic. So this is tone and this is overtone. Now just try to find out some important things from here, because we need all those information when you will solve some numerical. So first thing, in nth mode, string vibrate in n segments. You can easily look. This is n equals to 4, and you will see there are 4 segments: 1, 2, 3, 4. So if it is nth mode, then there will be n segment. Distance between two consecutive nodal points is given by L by n. Just check. This is L equals to 0. This is L by 4. Okay. So that means distance between them is L by 4. So this is fourth mode. So if we substitute n equals to 4 here, so L by 4. So in general, distance between two consecutive nodal points is given by L over n. Wavelength is given by 2L by n. L is the string length. So this is n equals to 4. And you can easily see that it contains two complete waves. Okay. One here to here and then here to here. So the wavelength will be L by 2. And if you substitute n equals to 4 here, you will see L by 2. So the in general wavelength, so suppose it is oscillating in nth mode, then wavelength in that case will be this. And if this is the wavelength, then the frequency is given by c over lambda, because frequency is given by velocity by wavelength, and you can substitute this value. So this is the frequency. So whenever you oscillate a string, you will hear a sound, and that sound will correspond to this kind of frequency. See you in next part. Thank you.